team effort. And part of this is not demoralizing the people that have to pull it off, which are the teachers and the rest of us sitting here. We've got to do this together, and we can. You should make the tough but necessary decision this evening. I hope you will. And I don't think I'll be able to stay for that entire time, but I'm here to support that. And you also have the opportunity to make a really lasting mark on the lives of the children in these two communities. So thanks so much for your leadership and the opportunity to do that.
And thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mike, again for your time and your commitment and your vision for the children of the state of Michigan. We do appreciate your leadership and willing to break down traditional barriers to create new opportunities. And that helps us to be able to do that in the field, so we are grateful. I'd also like to introduce two other friends, and I do consider them both friends, Representative David Rutledge and Representative Bill Rogers. One well known to all of you as a local representative and a longtime advocate, and you may remember his speech if you were here a year ago in August, which was pretty compelling and passionate. And Representative Rogers is a Republican from Brighton who chairs the School Aid Committee, and as board members and many in the community know, I've oftentimes invoked their names along with Superintendent Flanagan's, and I thought perhaps rather than just ask you to believe that what I'm saying represented what they've said, that perhaps if you heard it directly from them, it would be beneficial. So tonight, in addition to Superintendent Flanagan, we also have Representatives Rutledge and Rogers, and we'd like to turn the floor over to you, and thank you for joining us this evening as well.
For me, this is very special. You will recall when we were together way back when, it was more than just starting the process. I indicated that in fact, I remember showing you a T-shirt that I was wearing and vowed to wear it until this process ended. I am sorry to report that the T-shirt could not last the process. I would like to join Superintendent Flanagan and commend both boards for your collective vision and your collective courage to engage in a conversation with citizens of both our districts regarding the issue of potential consolidation. I just think that was, it was just special and really visionary on your part. I'd like to, it should not go without saying that my thanks goes out especially to Superintendent Scott Menzel and the entire ISD board for providing leadership, but more than leadership, for providing some very needed resources in facilitating this process to the point that it is now. I dare not fail to call attention to two very special people. And Representative Rogers, I want you to know these people and look them in the eye, because what they have done in order to get this process to where it is remove themselves out of the way in favor of the district and the kids in terms of moving this process forward. And that's Superintendent of Willow Ryan, Laura Lasinski, and Superintendent of Ypsilanti Public Schools, Superintendent Dietrich Martin. These are special people to, it takes something to move back in situations like this, and they have done that and done it willingly. We've come a long way in this process, and we've certainly done yeoman's work and engaged a lot of conversations across both districts. Now it's time to, I think, hear from the citizens of both districts. So I am here this evening to encourage you to put the question of consolidation of both these districts on the November ballot for an up or down vote. I think that's the democratic way, and I don't think we want it any other way. You've been working hard on this issue. It has not gone without recognition. But I want you to know that Representative Rogers and I have also been working hard in Lansing on this issue. I have crafted a bill that would place a 3-year moratorium on any new charters starting in a district that has approved a consolidation plan. The thinking behind that is that if in fact any district, any 2 districts or 3 or 4 are given permission to in fact consolidate, there needs to be a time period where they have an opportunity to in fact pull all of their programs and resources together and get them up and running. I think reasonably a 3-year time period would serve that purpose. Now, in order that this proposal not be dead before it even has a chance to get into the House process and a committee hearing, we've had to do a lot of behind-the-scenes work, and I could not do that alone. And a person whose wisdom and vision is somehow linked with mine on this process, as it was Representative Rogers. And I say to you, but he already knows this, for him I am grateful because he spends some chips and takes some risk in doing this. And I cannot tell you how invaluable he's been to me in terms of identifying the potential pitfalls and having us move around them or through them before we just drop in them. So in that regard, we've shopped this bill around, have we not? We have in fact met with the governor's office, had a conversation with his staff regarding it. We went right into the Lion's Den and had a conversation with the lobbyists of the charter school authorizers, who have a great stake and many questions on an issue like, what do you mean, no new charters for a period? So we've been about that business, and so far we're still moving. Nobody has knocked us down, and the process continues. I plan to introduce this bill next week. So there is a final piece that I'd like to mention before I turn this conversation over to Representative Rogers, and that is he and I both have had our eyes on a little piece of a little line item in the new budget that we approved. It's a line item that is $10 million, and it is set aside specifically for school districts that enter into a consolidation process. We've indicated to the Department of Ed, we've indicated to Treasurer, we've indicated to the Governor's office. We want first dibs at that $10 million or some portion of it. With that, let me stop and ask my colleague and friend, Representative Rogers, to address you.
Thank you, Representative Rutledge, and it's a pleasure sitting before all of you, and especially with the bold decision, the bold moves that you've made over the last year. The fair representative came to me about a year ago, I do believe, and said, We have a couple of schools that are actually talking about consolidating